A very quick lesson on tax rates. A tax is an extra cost of making a trade or owning land if it's a real estate tax. But let's just talk about doing like an income tax or a sales tax. It's an extra tax on doing a trade. The higher the tax rate, the higher the cost. So usually when somebody's making a trade, there is a certain percentage of overlap. The overlap of what somebody's willing to pay and what somebody else is willing to provide it for. So if somebody wants to trade chickens for corn, a bushel of corn, let's say a bushel of corn for one chicken or whatever. So they make that trade. If they want to trade 10 for 10, then what's that tax rate? If it's 10%, they have to give over one bushel of corn and one chicken when they do it. So they give up 10, they get 9. So if there's an overlap, it will happen. Sometimes if the overlap says, I'm not going to take less than 10 chickens for my 10 bushels of corn, well, if there's a 10% tax rate, the trade won't happen because they're only getting 9. Now, a lot of people can withstand a 10% overlap, but can they withstand a 20% overlap? Can they withstand a 30%? Let's say it's a 50% tax. You give up 10 bushels of corn and get 5 chickens. The government's getting the other 5 chickens. And they're getting the other 5 bushels of corn. The other person has to go accept 5 bushels of corn for their 10 chickens. Where the government's taking 10 bushels of corn, 10 chickens. I know it's all done with money now, but basically that's what it is when you're taking 50% of the trade. So anyway, that's just a quick lesson on at a certain rate, trades will stop. And that's what the whole thing about the Laffer curve is. At different rates, different people stop. So a few percentage of people will stop at 10% tax rate. More people will stop at a 20% tax rate. Even a higher percentage of people will stop at a 30% tax rate. When it gets up to 30 and 40 and 50%, more and more people stop doing that trade. It's not worth it to them anymore. When it gets up to 80 or 90%, well, like 90% of the people aren't going to do that trade. If it gets up to a 100% tax rate, now nobody wants to do that trade because they're giving up 10 bushels of corn. The government's taking all 10 bushels. They're giving up 10 chickens. The government's taking all 10. Well, why not just keep your chickens? And the other guy keeps their 10 bushels of corn. It doesn't make any sense to keep up a higher tax rate because nobody does that transaction anymore, legally at least. They will try to get away with it and get away with doing it under the table or in the other